A Quiet Place. Part 2 falls silent on originality. A Quiet Place. Part 2, the eagerly awaited sequel to the 2018 smash A Quiet Place, falls short of the standard set by its predecessor. While the previous movie expertly combined suspense, sound, and storytelling, this sequel fails to achieve that feat, leaving viewers feeling let down. The movie's lack of creativity is one of its biggest problems. The majority of A Quiet Place Part 2 resembles the first film, and this time around, the formula lacks some of its originality and mystery. The basic notion of living in a world overrun by sound-sensitive critters is still present, but the movie treads familiar terrain without giving the plot much further complexity. Additional issues with pacing add to the movie's flaws. Despite having a long-running length, the film never quite manages to retain the same amount of suspense as its predecessor. The ability of the original movie to keep audiences on the tip of their seats made it so compelling, but the sequel lacks that persistent suspense. There are some exciting moments, but they are far too few. Another difficulty is the absence of character development. The new characters who are introduced in A Quiet Place Part 2 are underdeveloped, and their intentions are sometimes ambiguous. It is therefore difficult to become emotionally invested in their destinies. Even the returning characters don't show much development or change, which makes it difficult to empathize with them more deeply. The movie also struggles with some dubious character decisions that undermine plausibility. Without giving away any major narrative points, discerning viewers may find movie aggravating when characters make decisions that defy reason and seem to exist only to further the storyline. Furthermore, it is disappointing how predictable the character arcs and plot are. A Quiet Place. Part 2 has a less suspenseful atmosphere than the first film since it follows a more basic plot instead of the originals, which had surprises around every corner. It frequently foreshadows its shocks and revelations, lessening their power. In conclusion, despite having its moments and retaining some of the suspense and fear of its predecessor, A Quiet Place. Part 2 ultimately falls short of expectations. It's a follow-up that is devoid of the creativity, pacing, character growth, and shocks that made the first film such an exciting experience. In the world of sequels, it appears that silence isn't always the best policy. Please subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews.